Flashlights. Flashlights is a great way to add depth to any haircut and give your guest a sun-kissed balayage look, and it takes about a third of the time of a balayage or highlight to apply. This whole look took less than 20 minutes, and I would charge approximately $120, give or take, depending on the density and length of the guest's hair. Here is our model's hair before the flashlights. So she has 2N on her roots, and the ends were previously lightened. We section this using 5 vertical sections in the back, 2 in front on each side. And remember, you want to leave out the money pieces in the front around the hairline where the customer will see it the most, so they can be customized later. Here's a diagram of the section placement. Again, 5 vertical sections in the back, 2 in front on each side. I'm going to begin this application in the center back. I'm holding each section at a 45-degree angle and allowing the breakage shorter hairs to drop out to prevent any further damage. I'm going to start by saturating one side of this first section with the lightener and then the other, keeping the lightener slightly lower than I want it to start. Then I'm going to go in with my clean dry brush and feathering out the lightener to remove any harsh lines for a clean blend, using upward strokes to fan out the lightener and downward strokes to blend it in. I'm working with Synchro Lift lightener mixed with 30 volume developer. If you want the ends to be a little bit lighter of an ombre effect, you can go in with 40 volume developer and just touch that up after the first initial application. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side of this first section. And again, this is the only section that I'll be painting both sides. The remainder of the section I'll just be doing the one side. It's important to keep a towel or paper towels handy so you can wipe any excess lightener off your gloves before moving on to the next section, because you're going to need clean hands so that it doesn't transfer onto the hair that you don't want lightened. For the remainder of the sections, I'm only painting the majority of the front side of each panel, or the side nearest to the face, and then I'm going back and hitting just the ends of the opposite side to give it that subtle sun-kissed look. I'm completing the entire back before moving on to the sides, and again only painting the front of each section. The front hairline, or the money pieces, the pieces framing the face, can be customized by weaving or using a teasing method to give a more subtle look depending on the customer's preference. While this is processing, you want to fold each section in on itself so the side of the section without lightener is not sitting on or touching the previous section. It's important that the client doesn't move around too much while processing so the lightener doesn't transfer to the previous section and create spots. You can always put a foil in between each section to prevent this. The nice part about not using foil is being able to see it as it lifts, and it's a little bit faster when you don't have to put a foil in between each section. Once she's done processing, you can rinse her out.
You want to keep the water pretty lukewarm. The reason being is because you want to open up that cuticle to allow the protein to penetrate. However, when we rinse it out, we do want to make sure that we lock in that keratin or that moisture, and the only way to do so is to bring it back down by using cool water. Your next step is you're going to bring out all of this hair. You may even need to towel dry. I always recommend towel drying because it's going to allow that product to really sit in there and penetrate. Remember that toner will penetrate when you have protein into the hair. So my temple brush is in like so, and I'm going to just add this in, focusing on the ends. Sometimes it may be necessary to use 2 vials. With her, I would recommend 2 vials because her hair is pretty porous right now. Perfect. So repeating that same process, coming in through those ends and distributing all of that into her hair like so. Working that in. Again, just utilizing just my fingers. No combing is necessary. And her ends are absorbing that. The remainder that's in here, I'm going to pour that onto the remainder of her hair. Working that in allows me to use the full potential of each vial. So now what I'm ready to do is I'm ready to clip her hair up, place a plastic cap on it. There we go. And now we're gonna set her under a preheated dryer for 10 minutes on normal. So for today's case, because we haven't toned yet, we did the moisture lather. We went in with 2 vials of the keratin triplex. But because we're toning, we're going to take this opportunity to tone now with our PM Shines or the color. And the reason
you have to rinse it and tone.
No rinsing. We're going to tone
and rinse.
And then we're going to rinse the toner out,
and then
apply this, let it sit for about 5 minutes. It does not have to be under the heated dryer. She can just relax right at the bowl. Rinse that and then follow through it with your cream rinse to lock in moisture and rinse with cool water.
We use 5NA plus 7NA to tone, 5 volume developer, and left it on for about 10 minutes, and these are the results.